You are now tuned in to the GNWY podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another GNWY podcast. And I am super excited about this person that came in all the way from Ada, Oklahoma. And so if everybody can give a warm welcome to the man, the myth, the legend, Dillon Chase, everybody.
What's going on? Thank
Okay.
you, studio audience.
Yes. Bro, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm just glad to be here. I like what Generation Y has been doing. I've had a lot of downtime, with so much stuff getting canceled because of COVID. So I'm glad that y'all are putting out meaningful content that can keep my life interesting.
That's what's up, man.
My life is boring now, bro.
Come on. So you've been a local rapper, but traveled all over the world.
Yeah.
And so like how long have you been doing music so far?
Since I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm like 40, so that's a lot of years.
You are not 40. Are you? I was about
34.
to say you look really good for 40.
Yeah, over 20 years I've been trying to rap.
That's trying.
Yeah.
You're dope. I want to get to. Would you be down to freestyle at the end of this?
Oh, he's talking to my manager. No,
Okay.
I mean it could definitely happen. I wish I had a beat or something.
Calling from Mogo. Is it okay?
I'm rusty.
Is it okay? How are you rusty?
Because all the concerts got canceled. It's like a muscle, you know.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I've been trying to battle rap my kids. It's not going over well.
Battle rap your kids.
You got to do something.
You have
to
what?
stay
Four
creative.
now, right?
Four
kids.
One's about to be an adult, so I'm about to lose that tax write-off. Probably have to have another.
So you got 3 and then 1 adult.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay, and
Well,
he's starting
close.
his own.
17.
DJ Squared has his own like coffee thing, right?
He's totally disassociated himself from DJ Squared, man. But
Oh, my bad.
thank you,
Julian. Sorry, Julian.
Julian.
That's what I know him
Agonist
as,
Designs. He's doing graphic work.
Yeah.
He's killing it as a barista at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know too many 17-year-olds that are entrusted to like open and run a coffee shop for half the day by themselves.
Right. That's true.
Like who you must be out your mind.
That
to
means
do
that you raised a good kid.
But it's because if you know Julian, he can handle it.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
It's been really cool. It's hard, transitioning from raising this cute little child that believes everything you say and you're smarter than them, you're stronger than them. They need you to survive.
But he's taller than you now, right?
Yeah. And that as a parent, that like makes you feel needed, and we all have that desire to be needed. So it's been interesting trying to love and maintain our relationship, even though like sometimes it's hard for me to feel needed by him because he's 17 years old, but I know he still needs like encouragement and affirmation. But honestly, transitioning out of him being my DJ was the hardest thing we've ever been to in our relationship.
Yeah.
We kind of made light of it. We did our little farewell tour, but like, man, it was literally like what he did his last show in August, and it was like in March by the time our relationship had like got back to like a good place. So I'm not really good at math. I didn't go to like college for long enough, but that's a lot of months from August to March. That's a lot of months.
I was wanting to get into that. So your son has been your DJ this whole your whole career, or like how long?
Yeah, I mean, I brought him on like in 2013. Yeah. So just for people out there who are creatives and who have a desire and a dream, I worked a full-time job for like almost 10 years. And just never gave up and like kept pursuing music, but I kept it in balance. I tried to make sure that my priorities were in order. Right. And eventually, in 2014 or so, I was able to transition full time. Yeah. That's along the time Julian came in as my DJ, just out of necessity. I was like, I really need to have someone who's available and affordable. So boom, there you are. Boom. 10 years old.
You live in my house.
Yeah. And it turned out to be really cool things. Saw a lot of cool things happen. A lot of people out there who had, kids who had broken relationships with their dad. And I came from a broken relationship with my dad. They were able to see like a healthy father-son relationship and able to see like, man, this is what fatherhood should look like. Right. So I miss like being able to champion that because now like he's not out there on the road with me. Right. And I've just had Colin has DJ'd for me and my dude B-Way has DJ'd for me. And like sometimes I treat him like my son, and that's awkward. And it's like, hey, don't drink that Red Bull. It's too late.
It's too late.
Like, here, let me put your straw in your...
Colin's like, I'm a grown man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, that's a bit... But I remember you at shows, you would say that you would pay Julian in Hot Pockets, right? Yeah. Whenever he was a kid.
That was our go-to dad joke.
Yeah.
But he does have an account that he will inherit at 18 years old.
Okay, that's what's up.
Like, he really would get money put in a savings account, and then sometimes we'd let him buy, like, you know, when he was 12, we'd let him buy like a video game.
Yeah.
And then when he was like 15, I was like, okay, if you want to buy a car, just go to the lot, pay for it in cash. No, not really. We didn't have that much money in the account.
That's what's up, man. That's dope. So you've been doing music for 20 years, and you got into music. Like, what were some of like your influences? Like, you know, because you started out as a battle rapper, right?
I mean,
I saw the videos, bro.
Yeah, I guess that's the first legitimate thing
Buzz
I did.
cut
But I
with
started
the
out
pink
as like a
polo.
middle school dance rapper.
Dance rapper?
Middle
I didn't
school
know that.
dance rapper.
Oh, so you danced?
No, at the middle school dance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, that's the genesis. In seventh grade.
Yeah.
I learned this song from Puff Daddy and Mace.
Yeah.
Feel So Good. And dun, dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 they play it. For some reason, you know, this 20-year-old DJ, I asked, like, hey, can I have the microphone? And he let me. And I just went in. What you know about going out? Head West, Red Lex, TVs, all up in the headset. And I just start rapping, and then the girls turn around. And,
that's whenever
they looked down at me because I was so small and little. But they all wanted to dance with me after that. And I was like, you know, I could be a rapper. But
I could be a rapper.
That is part of it. But the more serious thing was, you know, creativity for me was like a survival instinct. My home life was just horrible, like so much emotional trauma and drug addiction with my mom and dad, and in and out of rehabs, and just kind of never feeling like having that feeling rooted or feeling grounded and protected and provided for.
Right.
And it was like I had to try to make sense of such a chaotic life, and I found that when I could do anything creative, like, so started as writing stories, progressed into like writing poetry, even like, you know, 10, 11 years old, until I started listening to rap music. And that was just like, that's the expression, like all this stuff that's built up inside of me. Like this seems like, I don't want to sing about it. You know what I mean? I don't want to write a short story. I want to like rap about it. You know what I mean? So my brother, like, he introduced me to Wu-Tang. I was like in 5th grade. That's I mean, Wu-Tang's for the children, but Wu-Tang's not really literally for the children.
Right.
So I'm listening to a lot of East Coast rap, and then like getting introduced to like Nas, and I'm trying to think anyone who still has some relevancy today that people would know about.
Everybody gonna be like, who?
Yeah, I know. Right? Of course, like Eminem, but you know, back then, like, white rappers almost tried to pretend like they didn't like Eminem because it was like you felt.
But they had the poster on the wall and everything. Yeah.
And so listened to him, and was really trash for quite a few years, and then like junior, senior year, started getting into battle rap, which like exposed that I was trash, and then forced me to actually try to get better. You know, I got pretty good at it. So
definitely, that's what's up. And so you developed like all that into like an actual career and becoming an actual artist, yeah? And so, like, what was that transition like from going from, you know, I'm going to play around with this as a hobby, but then actually making it like, you know, I could actually make this a full-time thing? What was that transition?
You know, I think really looking at every door that was closed is like, well, I think I could use a better metaphor, but for every door that was closed, it was really just an opportunity for me to make my own door, right? Or if people talk about like being in your lane or what lane, like every time I got cut off, you know, in traffic and there was no lane for me to pursue my career and do it as like a legitimate job.
Right.
I spent years, man, being so frustrated and defeated and in my feelings because it seems like, man, all these opportunities were being taken away. But then I flipped my thinking and started looking at it like, you know what? This is actually an opportunity for me to make my own lane. So if I can't get in the studios, let me learn how to build my own studio, right?
Right.
If I can't, you know, get people to produce and mix my music, let me learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And then learning to put out, you know, merch and learning to shoot music videos or something. Like I just started trying to acquire every skill that I needed.
Yeah.
And eventually just being, disciplined and not giving up. You know what I mean? The transition happens slowly. So it's like, first, it's like, okay, I'm putting out music. I'm kind of building a little bit of a fan base. Yeah. And then, you know, it's really hard to just make money off of putting out music. You have to tour, you know, in this climate. Yeah. So then seeing, okay, I'm having like 2 or so like shows a month and just trying to build off of that. And really, man, it was like, I actually left my job at the bank. I was working there like as a consumer loan officer and kind of had my career path. Was not happy at my job. Was not passionate about it. my wife encouraged me to go back to school.
Yeah.
So I go back to university at East Central.
Okay.
In Ada, Oklahoma, and I get through my first year of school. By my second year, man, by actually that summer before the semester started, I realized like I'm actually like making what I was making at the bank, like doing music, and then slowly I had to make my exit from school, but I'm going to go back and finish and get my degree maybe one day.
That's
maybe one day I'll do so well they'll give me an honorary like doctorate.
right.
I think that's what happened with Kanye. So
that's what's up. And you'll be able to do the speech and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at Dillon Chase, hometown hero. But like I would say, man, even from because I met you, what was it, like 2000?
Well, actually, that video shoot was like 2013, so we would have met like
2013.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
for
really
one,
good
let me.
with dates, bro.
I was. You are good. Yeah. You're good with numbers, even though you're not. You say that you're not good with math. That's the memorization. Yeah, that's what it is. So my thing with that, seeing you from then. Hold on. Can you tell the story of the video shoot?
Okay, so I'd heard about Jordan Miller, this guy right here. I won't talk about his former stage name, but he was kind of like a hype man for one of my friends, and we're gonna do this video shoot, you know, and it's like a typical, like everyone thinks it's a rap video. We have to have a hood scene or it's not complete.
Right.
So what do people do in the hood? I mean, they just shoot dice. They shoot craps. And where do they do it at? They do it at the Mardell's parking lot in Norman, Oklahoma. So there we show up, man. I think we parked at the Chick-fil-A and walked over.
How like godly is all that scene? Is like Chick-fil-A, Mardell's.
I know Mardell's, and
let's shoot dice.
Man, there's like this whole juxtaposition going on. It's very artful.
That's hilarious.
And then like you have some dudes who are legitimately like I think one of the artist's cousins had like got out of prison not too long ago. So you got some dudes with some real street cred, and then you had Jordan Miller, man. He had the high socks before the high socks were even in fashion yet.
Right.
And he just kind of looked like a cool like skater guy, and it just
I don't even know who
awkward.
asked me to be in that video.
I
thought I was
thinking
just
you had
there.
to be like fourth choice or something. I'm thinking
there
had to be some other people that fell out last minute.
You know, we need some more bodies. Hey, you. Hey, come on.
Hey, but you know what?
Yeah.
You did it, man.
That's hilarious.
Get,
that video's still out, right?
Nope.
Nice. That's what's up. Anyway, so even knowing you from then till even now is like I say like you are like definitely one of the most inspiring people that I've seen, like doing your own music videos, doing your own like mixing, mastering, and going through that whole process, even going to like your studio that you have in your do you still have that? Is that
no, we left it behind, you know what I mean? The shed.
So it was a shed, and then like it was converted into a studio, and everything. I don't know how you shot like videos in there,
I know,
but like you make it look like
it's
make it look like it's a ginormous thing, but like it's a shed, but it's dope. Like you have an AC in there and everything.
I'm gonna miss it, man. But we got the studio actually in the house now, so you'll have to come through and check it out.
Definitely. But like even seeing like all the stuff that you do, man, it's like you really are about the behind the scenes, putting your own taste and your touch of everything, and you were even mixing and mastering other people's stuff too, right? I mean, besides
that's part of the transition too. Was like I had to think about it from a financial perspective. Was I transitioned because I had a family, so I couldn't do like the risk I could have taken as a single person. Like I wasn't afforded to me, to take those type of risks. So I was mixing other people's music. I was shooting music videos, wedding videos. Man, I was trying to use like every tool that God had given me to create opportunity.
Definitely. So even that's probably the most entrepreneur thing that I could think of. But like even for somebody that's out there, like what I'm saying, like trying to figure out what to do, like how did you go from making like all the gifts that you have? Like you kind of what you're saying is like you kind of were forced into having to learn everything. Right. And even being like where you're at, like Ada or Stratford, Oklahoma, is like, how did you find those lanes? Did you like forcefully like,
well, it's like, I grew up in Dallas, you know what I mean? So I had some connections, and already this goes back to before I even came to Oklahoma, doors being shut and trying to learn to do things on my own.
Yeah.
Like I can remember being in high school and like literally mapping out what my studio was going to look like.
Yeah.
And like writing down everything from Guitar Center that I needed. And it was like all this money. And I was convinced, like, once I get this money, I can make my album. If I could sell 10 CDs a day, that's $100 a day. I'll just go to different, like, I had this whole plan.
You were a banker before you were a banker.
Yeah, at 16 years old. And so the drive was there, you know, and then I'm in Dallas. I moved to Denton, and I'm going to church with these other guys who were like much further ahead of me and where they were in music, you know, guys like that some people know, like, you know, Lecrae and Tripoli and Tadashi and these people. And so I had that connection, but then that never like actually materialized into a real opportunity for me. So when I had to relocate to Oklahoma, man, it's because as newlyweds, we just hit rock bottom. Like I lost my job. We were running out of money quick, like trying to live, you know, north of Dallas. And there was a family-owned property in Ada, like this little house that my grandparents owned, and they said, y'all can come here to get back on your feet, and we did. Awesome. So then it was like starting over because there was nothing here. Like I used to like go to the skate park and like hand out my CDs, or like creepishly like hang out in front of like student ministry events and like hand out CDs
on the curb, just waiting for kids to come
waiting for people. Julian, you know, he was like 4 years old at the time, so you let your 4-year-old do, hey, go give him this CD. I was just trying, man, and I don't even know. I just look back now, and suddenly, like, I've been to so many places in Oklahoma. Oklahoma has supported me. Like, if it wasn't for Oklahoma, I couldn't do what I do full time. But it was such a gradual process that I can't even pinpoint when the pendulum started to move over to where I started to have opportunities. It was just slowly but surely.
One step at a time, right? Yeah. So what, like, I think your first CD is New Light, right?
The Light,
The Light,
which you might still
I have
a
the
copy
only
of it.
one.
I need
you
to
told
see,
me that
I should never let you borrow that.
I've been bumping it this whole time.
It was a spur of the moment thing. Yeah, The Light.
And so like how many CDs have you dropped since then?
Dude, a lot. So you got The Light, The Pursuit. Pause, Weak, Beautiful Art, and 3 volumes of Speak Up, Be Different, Drifting, Joyful Loser. So that I guess like 11.
That's crazy. And these have been all in the matter of
since 06. So years ago.
It's pretty good. And then like you have tons of features.
And
so like you've been out here. That's what's up, man. And so and then how many tours have you done?
I've put together let's see, I think I've done like 6 of my own tours.
And those are that's what I was about to say. Is like you put them all together. What's that process like, putting your own tour together?
It's so scary and stressful. After this last one I did with Colin, we went all the way out to San Diego and back. And we normally had a show like about every 5 hours of driving. We would
every 5 hours.
About every 5 hours, you know, like we'd have another city to be in. So,
that's
but I after that one, after the tours, my first reaction is I'm never doing this again. It was too stressful. Then like a week later, I'm already trying to plan another one. But man, it comes with years of relationship, and then also just quality. You know, word of mouth is great. So if you like, I used to not care what my show looked like live. I would just rap. And then I started getting into lighting. I started getting into crowd engagement. And then that just built up into like, we actually want to put like something on that's like worth coming to, that you're not just like, man, when is this over so we can go eat?
Right.
So you got to take a lot of L's if you're going to try to put together a tour. You're going to have to do free shows. You know what I mean? You're going to have to lose money. And so even this past one we did in fall of 2019, like we probably did 3 to 4 just free shows because like maybe they gave us a place to stay for the night. Maybe we got a free meal out of it, but like you just take what you can when you're going out from city to city. And so we normally just niche out about 2 weeks, a 2-week time period, and try to do about 10 shows in 2 weeks and try to
that's crazy.
Come out on top.
Come out on top.
Come out not broke and not in debt.
There you go. So like even with like putting your, because I was a part of two
Be
tours?
Different tour, and then the Live in Your Living Room.
Right.
We need to bring that concert series back.
That was actually pretty dope because you had like the whole blow
inflatable couch.
Yeah, that was super tight. But like even watching you through that whole thing, you put together your own show, but then also you bring your own sound, you bring your own lighting.
We still got that same sound from that tour too. I need to like upgrade, man. It's been through a lot.
What was it? What are they?
It's like the QSC K12s, and then I had some JBL like 500 watt subs. That's it.
Heck yeah.
A match made in heaven.
There's nothing wrong with that. They bump, man. And then, like, especially some of the towns and places we went, they're like, Going nuts.
Yeah, Wichita.
Right.
No water.
No water, yes. So like even like seeing like the effort that you put into that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because some people like as artists they go into a spot expecting all of this
Everything
stuff to
there,
be given to them, and then setting up. They don't have to worry about that stuff. You come in at least 2 hours before setting up all this
This
stuff.
last time we tried to get there like 4 hours before. We had so much more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Added to the equipment. We had more lights. We had staging and everything. But man, it makes for like if you can create a moment that could just give someone just a minute of hope, or of truth, and you create the environment to where they're actually going to pay attention. That's what I learned is like, especially with young people, it's hard. There's so much thrown at them. It's hard to get their attention. If I just come in there rapping like in a room that's just lit and there's like small little speakers, no matter how good I rap, it's gonna be very hard to keep them engaged for 45 minutes.
Definitely.
I found that man, it just created a more powerful experience to bring in the lighting, and it's just worth it. I don't always travel with my own sound, and sometimes we go somewhere and it's rough. It's like, and I'm just like thinking, man, this whole night literally would have went different if we just would have had the sound and the lights and everything else.
Definitely. I remember some churches that we went to, like there was some stuff that you were even shocked by. You were like, we walked in like, yo, this sound system sounds great. We'll just use this.
Oh,
and
that's
so it was like,
when that happened.
Yeah, definitely.
You remember the San Antonio show where we just waited for people to show up?
Was that the one in the gym?
No, that was the one like with Sean. It was like a little storefront in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah, yes.
We waited, man.
I ran out of CDs and I had to go to, I went with OB to the Best Buy and got cardboard cutouts for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. You always own that. But that I remember like that tour story. You show up to a venue, there's an eviction notice on the door. And then the guy opens it and he like prays and then he turns on the light switch. He's like, okay, I thought they're supposed to turn off our lights today because I have 3 months behind on the bill. And I'm like, this has been, which if you watch this, we love you.
Right.
But we've been booked for 5 months. And we probably should have known that you were getting eviction notices.
Yeah, should have got that notice to you
and
first.
Then you wait around for people to show up, and it's like, okay, we're already 45 minutes behind schedule. Ain't nobody coming. We just
there was a pretty good turnout through that though. There was like,
for a small room, like
and
25
an evicted
people,
building, right?
25 people in a small evicted building. That's like a sold out stadium.
Heck
you know what I mean?
yeah. That was dope. It was
probably
super
the most
hot in there
attended
too.
concert in an evicted, no AC building that's ever happened.
I think it made for a better show, a way better experience. It was an experience. That's what's up, man. That's the same thing even too with like GNWY. Like whenever we and even seeing like people like you and even with the group that we were with before is like, there's nobody that really goes into these schools and brings and sets an atmosphere for these students. And so it's like that's kind of the mindset that we want to go with GNWY, is that we come in with all of our nice sound system, all of the lighting and projector screens and everything like that, and fog machines and everything. It's like you want to bring something to these students that are already they're walking in with like a open mind, open heart to something. Because
I've rapped at a gymnasium during like a school thing.
Yeah.
With just the regular lights like they use to light up the basketball court and the PA system that they announce like the players' names with. It's horrible.
It's
and they probably think that dude's trash. You know what I mean? But if the atmosphere would have been right, it totally would have went different.
Definitely. And so also I want to get to like, bro, you are like writing wise, like I love the way that you write. For one, you've done a whole album based off of space.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Respect that.
That is crazy to me. And like every song has a theme, you know what I'm saying, that has to do with space, the constellation, the star, all that kind of stuff. And so like the way that you write, man, is like so more thought out than a lot of artists that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to say I really respect that. What's that thought process through that? Like,
well, I mean, I want to say like you do the same thing too, though, like in your writing. You know what I mean?
Haven't done an album off of it, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I used to think that rapping was just about rhyming words.
Right.
And then I realized, like, man, that's probably the least important thing about your rap is the word you end on that rhymes. Wow. It's everything in between. Yeah. And really a lot of it came like when I went back to school at 28 years old, going to university. and I'm focused. I'm an English major, and I'm getting introduced to all this literature, and like I'm like, dang, this dude's got bars, and he's not even like, he's just writing a book, you know what I mean? He's not even rhyming, but the way he's putting together phrases, it's like gives you a mental movie picture, and I'm like, that's what I want. Like, instead of trying to just be like all these punchlines, and I just want to, like, when I say my words, I want you to be able to like see them in your head. And so that's for the most part what I've been trying to do, just trying to put together just stuff we may say every day, but trying to put it together like in a thoughtful way.
Yeah, definitely. That's super dope. And that's even something that I miss, like hearing, because whenever our long drives, I remember one time you let me drive. That was pretty intense. You kind of got scared.
Backseat driver, dude. I'm so sorry. Colin knows, man.
Bro,
I'm always like, hey, watch the RPMs.
Right. I'm like, revving too fast. There was one time he was like in the back, and I think Julian was asleep or something like that. It was me and Sean just rocking it in the front seat, and then he was like writing music, and he was going to town. It was like, I don't know what. I think you were writing.
Probably for Speak Up Volume 3.
Yeah, something like that. But all I hear is these headphones knocking in the backseat, and then he's just going this, and all I hear, like, I don't know what I was doing. I was like, I barely swerved or something. He's like, hey. It's like, what? Where'd you come from?
Check your blind spot.
Check your blind spot. It was hilarious. But even that's the thing that I was gonna say is like,
wait, I gotta interrupt you though, because me and Julian were talking about this moment, and I can't remember where this phrase came from. Stop being a jerk. Oh. Why don't you stop being a jerk?
I didn't want to bring it up. Okay.
What happened?
So, I know. Okay. So we were.
People need to know when you're on tour, there's lots of emotions. You're drained. You're disappointed sometimes if you go to a place and it's just really rough turnout, or they're not real hospitable to you. And
right. Okay. So we were in Texas. I think
was in Austin.
Sean was there. Yeah. I can't remember what place it was, but anyway. So I feel like I'm along for the ride, you know, at the tour. I'm the kind of the lighthearted, joking around type guy. But like, so I'm being sarcastic all the time. That's just how I am. But so like
some of the memories are coming back.
We're packing up.
What should we stop
at
for the lawnmowers?
Yeah, these lawnmowers are going nuts. But so like we're packing up, and then like we were loading up your truck and stuff like that. And I think we were.
What sarcastic thing did you say?
I don't remember, but I was just joking, or like. Anyway.
I want to say it was either something about the speed at which we were going, or
like loading stuff up.
Yeah, loading
or something. Yeah, I don't know, but I say something. And I don't know why. I don't know why you were like, because I think something happened outside of that. Yeah. That you were there's something you were communicating with the people that were running the show, or like hosting the show or something like that.
Yeah, there was some things going on there. Like, I was just trying to fight to get us a hotel room at that point. Thought we might be sleeping on the streets. Like, there was a lot of miscommunication. Right. They didn't have a room ready for us.
Yeah. So. So I say something, and then all I remember is the positioning. So I think you were on top of the truck loading up like the sound equipment.
Did I have like the dad posture that I put my hands on my hip like that?
And then I'm on the back side of the tailgate, and then I say something like joking around, and I think I'm laughing too when I'm saying it. And you turn around like that and say, "Why don't you stop being a jerk?" And I'm like, "What?
You hurt my feelings. Why don't you stop being a jerk?"
And then through the whole rest of the tour, me and Julia just kept saying, "Stop being a jerk." Oh my gosh, that was the funniest thing. Oh man,
thank you for forgiving me for that moment.
No man, I tried to tread lightly because
it's hard, man, when you're like the guy who's heading like in charge of everything. You know what I mean? Like, you feel different levels of responsibility.
Definitely.
Do you remember we went to Houston, and I forgot Julian's DJ board, and I forgot all my merch. Mm-hmm. And
what did you end up doing for that?
I put on like one of Sean's shirts, and I remember you were like, "Dillon, you need to go up a size, bro." So I had to go to the XL, man. And I remember at the end of the night, I was like, "Hey guys, at least we got paid." You know what I mean? Because we get paid, and I'd pay you an amount, I'd pay Sean an amount.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, it's never happened before, it's never happened since then, they wrote a hot check.
Yeah.
But as the guy who's like, y'all have taken risk and y'all aren't getting paid a lot, I'd already paid y'all like out of my account, but I couldn't turn around and be like, hey guys, y'all need to send me that money back because the check bounced. So it's like, I took like a big hit on that, and that's just the things that happen when you're trying to pursue your dreams.
Man. And like even that's what I was gonna say too. Is I'm learning
without risk, there's like no reward or something like that.
You better say it. Say it with confidence. That was a good
one.
No
risk, there's no reward, and stop being a jerk.
But the responsibility. I feel like there's a lot of people that don't understand because even doing Generation Y, and we're traveling to California or Texas or Michigan or whatever, and then it's like. People in the bus probably thinking, "Oh, this is just a fun trip." Blah blah blah. It's not knowing what it took to put it on, the contacts that you've been having to make, the even the money situation back and forth. Blah blah blah. It's like there's so much.
Like, you had the contact made, but then things start on your way out to the event. Things start getting like shaky and miscommunicated. That's stressful.
Definitely. There was one school that we went to that was I don't know if it was in Oklahoma or not, but we were driving, and on the way there, the lady calls me and says, "Where are you at?" And I said, "What do you mean? We're on our way." And she said, she was like, the assembly starts in 30 minutes, and we're an hour out. And so I'm like, no, in our messages, you said this is, and then I screenshotted it, sent it to her.
Oh, you
and
have
she
receipts.
said, yeah, yes, you got to. And so like, and she was like, no, we have you scheduled for this in the itinerary or whatever for the school. And I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. I can't fly there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a bus with like a trailer and everything.
Stop being a jerk.
I almost did, no. But and so like she somehow worked it out. But like just stuff like that is like you really don't understand. Especially like even with schools, it's so unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? They already have a unflexible schedule and everything like that. And so, but that's the thing, man, is like I really respect like everything that you've been rocking with, and then even the evolution of your music has been dope too, because it's like you really like not follow trend, but like you take a trend and then like make it your own type stuff, whether it's the triple syllable thing or like the you're dabbling in the singing too now a little bit, melodic stuff. Shout out to auto-tune. But like also you play the piano too, right?
See, that was like one of the first tours where I was trying to incorporate that, like on the Be Different tour.
Right, yeah.
And I put it down for like 4 years, and then last year I picked it back up again. I'm like, I need to stick this out.
Because that was a dope element that you brought in to the show.
Dude, and that's another thing, man. It's like sink or swim. I've made so many mistakes in front of people on piano, like because it's not like the thing I'm most naturally gifted at.
Okay.
But, I'm learning, man. That's one thing, like during this time of being quarantined and a lot of things being shut down and, my schedule just being like clear until the end of July. Yeah. It's just trying to grow, man, and stay productive. And so one thing has been trying to grow, like learning to play piano, working on singing, that's the thing during times like this is you have to just tackle it one day at a time. And sometimes the day like tackles me and I don't get ahead of it and I just feel discouraged. And I start looking at like all the missed opportunities. I start feeling so like depressed about it and like, man, what am I doing? But then I realized, man, there's always something I could do. There's always a creative expression I could have. There's always someone I could help and encourage and like just trying to take it a day at a time. So
and even the like stories that you've already had of people that you've impacted, I'm sure like that plays a good role in it too, right? To like keep
it's good to hear
it.
that because I forget like my music still exists out there, and like, even though I could be at home depressed, like my music could be helping someone through their depression, and I don't even know about it. You know what I mean? So that is a cool thing about the power of music, man. So, it's been interesting, like learning how to still be creative and get out there and tackle like this whole music thing with stuff being shut down. So it has forced me to kind of do more digital stuff the way you guys are doing, which that's where the world is at, especially for young people. That's almost more real to them than the real world. You know what I mean? Is the digital like social media.
You have a TikTok?
Bro, I tried and failed at TikTok, man.
For real?
Like, I'm too old.
I feel like you would be good at it.
I feel it was too cringy. I didn't know what I was doing. I feel like with TikTok, it's mainly taking a trend and like making it your own and doing it, and that's just not my thing. Like,
got you. Okay.
That doesn't inspire me.
It doesn't inspire me.
I had to tell TikTok, stop being a jerk.
There you go.
So I
Chris,
feel like
Chris is killing it. Chris A.
Chris is killing it. I mean, he just had the tenacity to not give up, man.
Yeah. That's what's up.
So he's doing pretty well on it. I'm excited for him about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm gonna try TikTok again, but I gotta y'all gotta school me on it. So help me out in the comments or something. What I need to do.
Help Dillon Chase out with TikTok, everybody. But yeah, so oh man, so also you're a part of Die Daily still, or is that like how's that working?
Yeah, I'm still horrible. I'm not in the group chat as much as I should be, but I still rock with those guys and support them, and they support me. And man, they just model sacrificing like your own selfish type of personal endeavors, and it's okay to have goals and to get out there and pursue your dreams, but are your dreams like selfish, or are they going to add value to communities and to people? And so that kind of helps keep me in balance, you know what I mean, and what I'm trying to do, to try to like remember that slogan, like die daily, like it's not about you, it's about God, it's about others. So die
daily, live forever, right?
Die daily, live forever. That'll be my first tattoo.
You don't have one?
No, I feel like once you're almost 35, it's kind of a weird time to start getting tattoos.
I think that's probably the perfect time because nobody would think about it.
All right, you hear that, babe? If my wife is watching this.
Yeah.
I was in Jerusalem, bro. That's where Jesus got his tattoo.
Of course.
All right, and there's a tattoo
parlor.
Jesus. No. There's a tattoo parlor like in old Jerusalem. The old is what they call it. So it like literally looks like it's out of like a Matt Bourne like scene where he's like running through some market like in the Middle East. You know, this is really cool place, and everyone on the trip, not everyone, but that's how you say when you're like a kid, everyone's doing it.
Right.
Everyone was going to get tattoos from like Jesus' third cousin.
Jesus' third cousin.
So I'm like messaging my wife on
Joseph
WhatsApp, you know, and I'm like, hey, like I think I want to get a tattoo. Like I'm in the Holy Land, it's Jerusalem, and
so this ink is gonna be really holy.
No.
She said no.
And then I wanted to get one more on tour, which you wouldn't have had time to anyway. She's like, I don't know yet.
What were you trying to get?
I was gonna either get like Die Daily, or I was gonna even do one where I was gonna get like I had not even thought that far out. On it. Probably right on the lower back. I wanted to get like the whole deal with like your kids' names and they're like arrows or something like that. I was gonna try to get that. You know, I was gonna try
Die
to get
Daily with
life.
Arrows and your kids.
No, this is a separate tattoo idea. Like, I'm basically trying to find out what my wife would be like. Okay, maybe she doesn't want like. Maybe if it's something with our family, like, so I'm like, I want to get a portrait of you.
Yeah.
Just right
hair
here on my
flowing.
chest.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
I want to get that Tiger King tattoo, like property of Joe Exotic.
And then a bull that covers it up. That doesn't cover it up.
That's the final. It looked pretty good. Like, no, it doesn't. I used to see that dude like shopping at Walmart in Paws Valley. Like,
because you live pretty close
right
to.
There, dude. I could like tell you a whole Tiger King story of like taking Julian there when he was 8 years old, and I paid like $50 a person to have the cut. I feel horrible, you know what I mean? But the Tiger Cub experience.
Right.
When I tell you, like, first of all, I'm like, I just have this like printed out piece of paper like Tiger Cub experience. Like, where do I go for this? And they're like, 2:00, you come back 2:00. And we go there. They walk us through like the outside of the zoo into a trailer home. Like, I'm talking, this thing was single wide.
A trailer home.
Just falling apart. Like we go in there, reeks of like cigarettes and meth, amphetamines. And we sit down on the carpet. You ever know a carpet like feels sticky and soily?
Definitely.
Yeah. There's a shaggy carpet.
Like
and
someone just poured bleach all over it or something?
Yeah, it's just dimly lit. And
dimly lit.
They bring out this tiger was born like 3 seconds before we got there. The thing's like, doesn't have his eyes open yet. You can't really play. Like, it's just there. And I'm like, Julian, like, look happy. You know what I mean? I paid $100 for this. And I'm like, trying to take pictures, but
with
camera
this sheet of paper that says Cub Experience.
Cub Experience, yeah. So that's the story, man.
Who was doing? Was it Joe? Like Joe brought him out?
He wasn't there. It was one of his cult followers or whatever. But we did some of Joe Exotic tours too.
Oh,
he was like, he had so many quotables, bro. He would like have a gun. He had like 2 guns and
and it was so like
he would sell Joe Exotic underwear in the gift shop. Like,
really? You bought one?
I like tigers, man.
I like to support wildlife. You know, that's amazing. You've been wearing them on the tours, and I didn't know about it. Makes you feel dangerous.
Yes, man. That like makes the whole stop being a jerk story hit different now when you really think about it.
It's completely different.
Oh man.
What? Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Do you feel like that tour like prepared you for what you do now?
Hold on.
I'm interviewing you now.
You said it hit different?
It did, literally.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, it's prepared me for Generation Y.
Get it together,
Oh my
man.
gosh. Yo, I just pictured you
my
turn it
grandma
back
passed
around. And just
My grandma passed away last year.
What?
I'm serious.
It's not the time, Dylan.
Why is that funny to you?
This is not the time.
It was March 2019. We knew it was coming.
Why are you laughing?
I'm crying.
I'm so
crying.
sorry.
Why are you laughing?
Oh
I was
gosh.
trying to see if that would bring you down to earth. So did opening up on my bootleg tours in rural America prepare you for Generation Y assemblies?
Yes, yeah, it did a lot.
Good. I have to feel like I had some part of your success because I'm prideful like that. It's not like, yeah, he got there. Won't be there if it wasn't for me.
No, I'm anyway. Yes.
Good.
I feel like
Laughter
definitely.
is therapy, man.
That felt good. I appreciate
You
that.
need to release some more.
No, I'm good. I got it back.
Okay.
I got it back. No, I do feel like it definitely prepared me. Like I was saying earlier about the group that I was with before, and then being on tour with you, and then just seeing how live performances are conducted, and even from the beginning and to the end of the setup to the tear down, but then behind the scenes of communicating, make sure that even the people that you bring with you are conducting themselves in the right type of manner of just like stuff that you stand for, your mission and your vision. It's like you're the main guy. We don't want to make Dillon look bad, so it's kind of even the same thing of people you roll with. Do they have the same heart that you do? Do they have the same type of idea of like, I've got a talent and a purpose, but am I just being on stage just to be on stage? You know what I'm saying? So
because people can sense that too. I think that's like a turnoff for this generation. Like if someone's up there and they're just like desperate for your attention and want to be validated, like that's that's not it. You know what I mean? But when they know you're up there and you're confident and you care more about them than you care about yourself, I think people can sense that on stage, even when it's not verbalized. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I've seen that because like I started out just craving attention. You know what I mean? And I used to go on stage to find affirmation. Now I go on stage like from a place of being affirmed already. Like in my relationships that matter most, I'm affirmed. I'm affirmed by my creator. I don't need affirmation, and that gives me so much freedom to go on stage and do what I do.
Definitely, that's what's up. And even like from the first tour that I was on with you, and then to even the second one, it was like it seemed like you even got more comfortable with yourself for some reason, and it's like
and then probably like by the last tour that my son and I did, I felt like I was full dad mode by that time.
Oh yeah, and like you jumped off of a cliffhanger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I mean the knees, man.
My knees.
That was hard.
Didn't you say that you had a stunt double? Did I see that you post about that?